Okay, بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونستهديه ونتوب إليه وتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله تعالى من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا reported by Abdullah ibn Umar رضي الله تعالى عنه in the hadith sahih agreed upon in Bukhari and Muslim that he said, I heard Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول saying كلكم راع وكلكم مسؤول عن رعيته. Each one of you is shepherd and each one of you is, responsible for his sheep. Al-Imam ra'in wa mas'ulun an ra'iyatih. The Imam, the Khalifa, the head of the state, is a guardian, is a shepherd, and he looks after his own sheep. وَالرَّجُلُ رَاعٍ فِي أَهْلِهِ وَمَسْئُولٌ عَنْ رَعِيَّتِهِ. And the man is a shepherd on his families and responsible over his sheep, over what whom is in his authorities. وَالْمَرْأَةُ رَاعِيَةٌ فِي بَيْتِ زَوْجِهَا وَمَسْئُولَ عَنْ رَعِيَّتِهَا. And the woman is a shepherd on the house of her husband, and she is responsible for her sheep. وَالْخَادِمُ رَاعٍ فِي مَالِ سَيِّدِهِ وَمَسْئُولٌ عَنْ رَعِيَّتِهِ. And the servant is a shepherd and responsible for the wealth of the money of his really boss, and he's responsible for his ra'iyah. وَكُلُّكُمْ رَاعٍ وَمَسْئُولٌ عَنْ رَعِيَّتِهِ وَكُلُّكُمْ رَاعٍ وَكُلُّكُمْ مَسْئُولٌ عَنْ رَعِيَّتِهِ. Each one of you is responsible, shepherd, and each one of you is responsible for his sheep. Therefore, should each one of us prepare ourselves to have an answers in the day of judgment for all those whom we have authority over them. Therefore, I will start by saying that Islam obliges upon every Muslim to love to his brothers what he loves to himself, and to hate for the brothers, to happen for them anything bad from what he dislike and hate for himself. Therefore, it is a duty upon us when we cooperate in the good deed, and to start to advise each other and commanding good and forbidding evil among each other. For this reason, I believe it is a duty upon the Muslims to study from time to time. You see, what is a duty upon the Muslim girl to know about Islam. Especially, there is a lot of people, they ask questions. I'm a convert Muslim and I need to know about Islam. So we speak about the vital issues. But now, I'm going to speak about the role of the Muslim woman and the duty upon the Muslim girl. Especially nowadays, we see a lot of dazzling, a lot of using the woman in everything. What the Muslim woman should know Islam forbid upon her as a Muslim girl at-tabarruj, mean dazzling. What is dazzling? What is tabarruj? This is the first things it is really she should know by necessity, is to show at-tabarruj, dazzling, is to show for those who are not really relative to her, who are not her mahram, what the Sharia oblige upon her to cover from her zina and decorations and her, beauties. In other words, at-tabarruj, dazzling, woman to show foreign men who are not mahram, her decorations, her makeup, her beauties, her itself really hands, legs, hair, chest, neck, etc. And in certain situations, even her face. That's why, when people speak about tabarruj and dazzling, you find that word, it is applied to three meanings. First, the word tabarruj as what? As showing the foreign man to her beauties, showing really her bodies and her beauties and her decorations, whatever she decorating herself, you see, etc. The other meanings people said to show others her clothes, so dazzle her clothes and wear jewelry in her hands and start to show some see things which is really above her clothes. Some people said is dazzling is even to speak in softened way, in very softened voice, walking with tamayul, walking, and moving right and left, or walking itself really in a way which is like modeling, are really walking in the street. You call it showing, showing? Okay. However, so at-tabarruj, it is woman to dazzle herself in front of foreign man. And that is forbidden in the Quran and the Sunnah and Ijma' al-Sahaba, because the woman is described to be awrah and must be covered. So, and the awrah, you see, is being described, the woman as awrah. In Urdu said urat in Urdu. Mean it is really, the awrah is a part of the body which must be covered, cannot be seen except by the close relative. And the awrah is two types, soft and hard. Hard awrah cannot be seen at all except by the husband. The wife, even her hard awrah, and vice versa, her husband hard awrah, it is permissible for husband and wife to see their own hard awrah. Okay? And in certain circumstances, mother and with her newborn babies or toddler children or her children, she can see their own hard awrah when she really clean them, wash them, etc. In other words, hard awrah must be always really covered, even in front of any relative, unless there is permit for husbands and wives and mother and her children, etc. When it comes to the issue of adult, the hard awrah, it is really between the navel and the knee. You see, nobody could see it for the child, male, and for the female, between her chest and her knee, there's nobody can see that. Really, even woman cannot see the other woman from her chest up to her knee. So man to man, between the navel and the knee. Man to woman, okay, man, he cannot see from the woman between her chest and her knee if she is his sister. And some fuqaha go further, even her shoulder and her underarms, okay, cannot be seen by her own brothers. But her hair and her hand and her leg from the knee to the feet, that is for her own brother, it is permissible, but does not mean he should himself really look at it, and he should not look at it by any form of desire or whatever. For foreign man, full stop. Woman not allowed to see from the foreign man any awrah, nor a man he could see her awrah. Now, the dazzling in Islam, it is really could be related to the body of the woman, to the shape of the bodies, to the jewelry, or even to her face in certain circumstances. What we see today for many of the Muslim girls and Muslim women, that is when she go out, she start to wear makeup, expose her face with the makeup, with kuhul, with red rouge, and make all those colorings, and even wear gold rings, and couple of rings, and maybe some watch, which really very big, it's a very size watch, full of jewelries, and some of them even they wear khibar and jilbab, colorful, and they start even to imitate kuffar, the way they walk, the way they talk, and causing all form of fitna. And no doubt, this type of walk, this type of girl, or this type of woman, what she's doing, she committing haram. And not to mention some of them wearing perfume and go out, which is now forbidden upon the Muslim woman to wear perfume and go out of home. It's not allowed. So this matter, inshallah, will be benefiting those convert Muslim sisters, and even those sisters who are really maybe she come across it but she never studied it before. Therefore, any woman go out from her home and covering her head or her show her neck or show her hands or her legs, that is something is completely forbidden. And as well, any woman come out with the clothes which is really show, or you see clothes is really full of decoration and dazzlings, or you can see through, mean does not really cover what is underneath, or very tight, show all her shape of her bodies. That's form of dazzling. Tabarruj, Islam has forbidden as well. This is why you see one of the greatest sin and the most really harmful fitna that is really Muslims, girl or Muslim woman do nowadays is going out from their own home in dazzlings, in fitna. That's why we call fatinatin maftunat, going on the shape. It is not only causing fitna, and she have fitna as well. And you see, some of women, they do different type of tabarruj. They do really wear perfume, and they wear clothes, maybe show some of their own shape of their own bodies. This is another form of fitna. And not to mention free mixing with a man in the public arena or private arena is really anger Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and as well will deserve the one who do it punishment. What is the evidence it is forbidden for women to have this type of decorations or dazzlings or tabarruj? Obviously, we follow nothing but the Quran and the Sunnah. They are the only sources for the Sharia of Islam. Is the Wahy. The Quran and the Sunnah, both are Wahy, revelation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In the case of Quran, is the meaning from Allah and the wording of Allah. Al-Quranu kalamullah. In the case of the Sunnah, the meaning from Allah manifested by the sayings and the actions and the consent of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And those ayat and those ahadith came with clear prohibitions for any form of dazzlings, and not only that, and Allah promised severe punishment for the one who will cause really this type, who committed this type of tabarruj. In chapter of Al-Ahzab, verse 33, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave general rules for the Muslim woman and for the Muslim girl to say your original really place is to stay at your home. That is original, you see, rules. You see, وَقَرْنَ فِي بُيُوتِكُنَّ وَلَا تَبَرَّجْنَ تَبَرُّجَ الْجَاهِلِيَّةِ الْأُولَى. Stay at your home. Don't go out without need. You see, that, and don't be the dazzling of Jahiliyyah. So see, this ayah is so clear. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forbid, you see, the tabarruj and the issues of tabarruj, as we said, showing and decorating herself to be seen by non-mahram male. Stay at your houses. Do not display yourselves like that of the time of Jahiliyyah, the time of ignorance, the time of kufr. And then the ayah says perform salah and pay zakah, etc. What I want to say in this ayah is so clearly focusing وَلَا تَبَرَّجْنَا تَبَرُّجَ الْجَاهِلِيَّةِ الْأُولَى. Consider the tabarruj as a form of jahiliyyah, living, you see, in the time of kufr and shirk before Islam. And the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, in the hadith reported in Tirmidhi, which is really Ibn Kathir in his tafsir, volume 3, page 481, make tafsir for this ayah, Ayatul Ahzab, verse 33. And he said about that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, إِنَّ الْمَرْأَةَ عَوْرَةً فَإِذَا خَرَجَتْ إِسْتَشْرَفَهَا الشَّيْطَانِ woman is awrah. Awrah mean what? Awrah is zina. Not zina, not fornications. Zina means she is something beauty, something beautiful. Alright? Therefore, you see, anything is to do with, you see, the zina and decorations, usually should not be seen by, except the one who's mahram. So he said, the mar'ah is awrah. Whenever she go out from her home, shaitan will always go face to face with her, will be around her. Istashrafaha shaitan. You can see this ayah addressing, you see, Muslim woman, specifically the wife of the Prophet. But in general, the address of this ayah for the wife of the Prophet in specific and for the Muslims woman in general. Because the wife of the Prophet, they are the mother of the believers and they are the good examples for all the other women. And they are the qudwah, okay, the example for the Muslim women to follow them in all times, in every place. So the ayah is so generous. And the proof is so generous that is the ayah before and the ayah after, speaking about really the issues of don't soften your voice and will make the man, alright, who listening to you, especially those who got some illness in his heart, he start to attract to you and he could himself really come to attack you. You see, وَلَا تَخْضَعْنَ فِي الْقَوْلِ فَيَطْمَعَ الَّذِي فِي قَلْبِهِ مَرَضٍ. Don't speaking in a softened way will make the person who got some, you see, don't soften your speech. That will make those who has really have some disease in their own heart, okay, be moved with desire toward you. Speak in honorable way. You see, you can see how Islam has give direction to the Muslim woman. That is, you are honor and must be protected. And you must not really put yourself in situations you could be the driving, you see, the desire of the man to seduce them in any way, because that causes fitna. Then the ayah was asked them to stay at your home and don't do this and this and that. However, see, by this ayah we can see that is happened, that is Sauda, daughter of Zam'ah. She is the wife of the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Saudata bint Zam'ah. She is the daughter of Zam'ah. She was the wife of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They asked her, لما لا تحجين ولا تعتمرين كما يفعل أخواتك. Why you don't perform Hajj and perform Umrah the way all your other sisters they do? And that is really the hadith, you see, reported on the Tafsir al-Qurtubi for the ayah. So why don't perform Hajj and Umrah? All your sisters should do. She said, قَدْ حَجَجْتُ وَاعْتَمَرْتُ. She said, I did make Hajj before. I did make Umrah. وَأَمَرَنِي اللَّهُ أَنْ أَقَرَّ فِي بَيْتِي. And then Allah ordered me to stay at my home. That's why, you see, it's reported, فَوَاللَّهِ مَا خَرَجَتْ مِنْ بَابِ حُجْرَتِهَا حَتَّى أُخْرِجَتْ جَنَازَتَهَا رضي الله تعالى عنها. It be reported after that she never came out from her room until the day of her janazah. Saudatu bint Zam'ah, the wife of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, when she heard the ayah, you see, to stay at your home, وَقَرْنَ فِي بُيُوتِكُنَّ, stay at your own home, means do not really go out except for necessity. She felt that she performed Hajj and Umrah, that's it, I will never go out. And وَلَا تَبَرَّجْنَا تَبَرُّجَ الْجَاهِلِيَّةِ الْأُولَى. The ayah said, don't do tabarruj like the day of Jahiliyyah. Mean what? Being described by Ibn Kathir, that don't go out, you see, dazzling yourself. Imam Ibn Sa'di, in Tafsir Al-Sa'di, he said, do not go out mutajammilat, mutatayyibat, decorating yourself. Don't go out decorating yourself. Don't go out when you're wearing perfume. That is the perfumes, you see, and that is the way the people of Jahiliyyah, those who has no deen, have no ilm. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in chapter of An-Nur, verse 31, وَلَا يُبْدِينَ زِينَتَهُنَّ إِلَّا مَا ظَهَرَ مِنْهَا. The woman should not show their own zina except what has prevailed from it. As zina, in Arabic language, usually we mention it in relation to the jewelries and the makeup. And as well, we could apply the word zina for the issues of her clothes. And as well, the zina can be for the bodies. Alright? So when we speak about don't show your zina, either don't show your body, you see, your physical bodies, don't show your jewelries, don't show as well your what? Your decoration and dazzlings. So your clothes, don't make your clothes dazzle. Therefore, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the ayah, وَلْيَضْرِبْنَ بِخُمُرِهِنَّ عَلَى جِيُوبِهِنَّ وَلَا يُبْدِينَ زِينَتَهُنَّ إِلَّا مَا ظَهَرَ مِنْهَا. So this ayah and the ayah after is ask them not to show their own zina. So not to reveal their own zina except to their own husband, their fathers, etc., etc. But the questions, they should themselves make sure that their own clothes, their own bodies, and their own jewelries, all those matters should not be seen. So a woman, when she wants to go out from her home, make sure, as far as your clothes is concerned, should not be in any way a dazzling form. Decorated in different style, different very fashions. Some people start to have some really maybe sunflower behind her back of the jilbab. Some of them, they maybe put, even some of them now, they put a sign of some pop star, but maybe Sami Yusuf or whatever, okay? Some of them, they start to have this clothes, very pinky colors, okay? Very dazzling color. Some of them shape their own clothes, shape their own bodies. Some of them start to make it see-through. Some of them start to make it like, you see, ayaya, grombeka, suku. You don't know really what she wear. Some of them start to wear over her own khimar, some big hat, like Queen Victoria hats, and so on. Some of them carry umbrellas, different colors, and really play with it all the time when she go out with over her khimar and jilbab, keep carrying herself for umbrella. Some of them, they carry this one, you see, the air waving, the way Japanese, they carry it all the time, and move, what you call this one, air waving, you call it? Like fun, it's manual fun, yeah. Manual one, and keep, this. Some of them, they start to have shisha, you see, and meddling, and carry it all the time. I can't believe it, he says, and they say they are Muslim sisters. What mean Muslim sisters? For God's sake. What they are doing, something is not allowed. So, we need for the sisters to understand those three forms of zina. Okay, the decorations. Allah ordered the woman not to let any foreign man to see it. Your body and the shape of your bodies and your jewelries when you wear them as well, and you see on the issues of the clothes. So your clothes should not be dazzled and seen by any foreign man, and nor your bodies, okay, nor your face, and nor your jewelry. So all this, Allah says, not allowed to be seen, إِلَّا مَا ظَهَرَ مِنْهَا. The thing which cannot be covered. Like it said, your outer garment. Alright? Your outer garment. Or, some fuqaha said, maybe your face and your hand, providing has no dazzling, and not itself really your face is not really face of fitna. Some of the fuqaha said, if the woman show her face, you see, and without to be decorated, there is an opinion is permissible. However, so here, the zina can be classified to two. One, we call it itself part of her human looking. Some women, so pretty, so beautiful. Anyway, whenever man look at her eyes or her face, his heart will go from country to country. He become like those Hindus, you see, who claim they move this man, what is his name? Anyway, they will move itself really from India all the way to Edward Road by watch and return back to India and give it back. Remember the story of this one man got big, this dash, a red one with big curly hairs. I saw it once in one of those Hindus itself shop in London. And he said to me, this is God. I said, what? He said, he is one big holy man. I don't know what his name, Baba something. Anyway, so if the woman is really start to decorating herself, and she's so pretty, in this case, that call, really, we call ourselves Zina Khalqiyya, means she is so pretty by default. And means the way Allah has created her, so beautiful. And there's another form of zina, it's called zina muktasaba. Mean what? Is she decorating herself to become a pretty? Alright? To become look nicer. Some women maybe, nowadays they do that. Nowadays I don't know what they pumping their own lips, and they wearing itself makeup. You call it Botox. Okay, Botox. Okay, so you find her lips is become really so big in one day and one night. Some of them change their own nose and make it like Michael Jackson style. Okay, or maybe his sister's style, I don't know. Some of them, they start to make their own ears very big, like Prince Charles style. I don't know. It depends about how much people they are really admire some famous people. They like to imitate their own really looking. However, this type of things, anything really Allah created her with, or she, the one who made it, in order to make herself look prettiest, or nicer, or nice, or beautiful. Whether she wear clothes to make herself look nicer, she wear jewelry, okay? All this is including وَلَا يُبْدِينَ زِينَتَهُنَّ. Including the ayah should not show their own zina. And the proof for that, in chapter of An-Nur, verse 60, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke with us about addressed the old woman. The old woman. وَالْقَوَاعِدُ مِنَ النِّسَاءِ اللَّاتِي لَا يَرْجُونَ نِكَاحًا. The old women who reach the menopause age, which is really, they do not look for getting married, even nobody looking for them to get. If I say to you now, if I say to you maybe, brother, obviously you cannot answer, all of you are lady locked with red dot. If I say to you, brother Abu Yaqub, I got for you a wife. She's very good practice Muslim sisters, and she's mashallah. She's only about 65 years old. Are you going to say yes? You got to say, 65 years old is too big for me, Sheikh. You see, even if she have good deed or good character, maybe I pass it. I pass. I say maybe my brother Abu Azzuddin, maybe himself, maybe he choose that. Obviously, nobody going to marry. You see, usually you don't target women 60, 65, 70 years old to marry to her. Nobody target that. Maybe old man like me, or he will do that. But usually, usually the ayah said, and for those women who are really so old, no longer, you see, people maybe seek to get married from them. Alright? Nor they want to get married. وَالْقَوَاعِدُ مِنَ النِّسَاءِ in chapter of An-Nur verse 60. اللاتي لا يرجون نكاحا فليس عليهن جناح فليس عليهن جناح أن يضعن ثيابهن غير متبرجات بزينة. Even the women who reach the menopause age and no longer they can have menstruations, no longer they can have children because they become too old. You see, in a way nobody even have really interest on them to get married to them, nor the man even attracted to them. Okay, therefore what I want to say, this ayah when said no harm upon them if they can maybe uncover their own face or maybe some of their own hair, but doesn't mean to become naked, because the fuqaha said, you see, they maybe wear, you see, certain clothes, but they should not really show their own zina, because the ayah said غير متبرجات بزينة, is not to have tabarruj, and that tabarruj is to show any of their own awrah, or to start decorating themselves in order to look like younger. Therefore, anything Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered the woman to cover it and not to show it, she was obliged to cover it. Therefore, you maybe have a permit as an old woman, okay, that is, maybe you have permits some time to not to wear jilbab, okay, but you should cover, not to become naked. But doesn't mean at all you start to dazzle yourself in a way to attract man toward you. This is really important. All these ayat indicate one thing. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not permit the old woman to wear zina, let alone the young girl to wear makeup and zina. If Allah does not permit the old woman to become fitna for the man, let alone for young girl or young woman to make fitna for the man and to cause fitna for the man, it is really haram in Islam. In Bukhari and Muslims, the Messenger Muhammad ﷺ said, ما تركت بعد فتنة هي أضر على الرجال من النساء. There is no fitna after me could harm. You see, he said, there's no fitna I left behind me is really more harmful the man than the woman. Is what? The fitna of the woman. That's why in Sahih Muslim the Messenger said, اتقوا الدنيا واتقوا النساء. Keep away from the dunya. اتقوا, keep away from the woman. Mean what اتقوا mean here? Be careful not to look to anything haram, not to see anything haram, not to look at women. فإن أول فتنة بني إسرائيل كانت في النساء. The first fitna occur and test upon the people of the descendant of Israel was the woman. To the level, you see somebody said, he said, I can't believe it. I could live in a life or in a world has no woman. Something like this, he could say that. And usually, the man, the first thing he think about it, when he grown up a little bit, is what? Is to get married. That's why the hadith said, يا معشر الشباب من استطاع منكم الباءة فليتزوج. He doesn't say, all old people, all young youth. Whenever you feel desire of getting married, get married. If you cannot, whatever the obstacles, you see, فإن لم يستطع فليصم. If you can't, fast. You see, fast means control yourself. You see, and fasting will usually will control somebody. He will start to think about ibadah more, about the woman. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even promised severe punishment for the woman who decorating herself, or the young girl decorate herself and come out wandering, doesn't know where to go. There's some people out in the sea doesn't want to go. Like you looking left, looking right, looking behind, looking in the front, looking here, looking there, looking up, looking down. She's not looking at herself in front of her and just no. She's looking around everywhere. She's not doing shopping window. She's doing people window. You know, he not already what called shopping people, if you like. All right. So if she is doing shopping people everywhere, there's window shopping and there's something called people shopping? Okay, people shopping. You see, women not allowed to do so. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he told us what the consequences of the young girl or young woman, girls, Muslim woman, Muslim girl, you see, who doesn't themselves and go out. Is reported in Sahih Muslim. And that is volume 6, page 168. That Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that by Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala anhu, said, صنفان من أهل النار لم أرهما. There's two types of the people of hellfire. I did not see them yet. قوم معهم سياط كأذناب البقر يضربون بها الناس. People has really whips like the tail of the cow, hitting people with it, and that the corrupted rulers. And we see them. He said, I saw two types of people in hellfire. I never saw them yet in my life. He saw them in hellfire when he was in the Mi'raj. People who has whip like the tail of the cows, hitting the people with it. And the second type, وَنِسَاءٌ كَاسِيَاتٌ عَارِيَاتٌ مَائِلَاتٌ مُبِيلَاتٌ رؤوسهن كأنسمة البخت المائلة لا يدخلن الجنة ولا يجدن ريحها وإن ريحها ليوجد من مثيرة كذا وكذا. And I saw women are كاسيات عاريات, wearing clothes but as if they are naked. The way it been described, كاسيات عاريات, really are naked with the clothes over them. مائلات مبيلات is really waving, moving right, left, center, forward, backward. You can see they say when they move, you see, usually they wear this long heel, dress but naked. Okay, long heels and what? And keep moving right, left, right, left, right, left. And this is really, you call yourself, swing. Okay, swing. All right. مائلات مبيلات. On their own head, like Al-Subat al-Bukhut, the way they wear their own really khimar, they tie their own hair very tight to the top, and then they wear what? They wear their own khimar. Become what? Become really like the head of the camel. What do you call this one? The hump of the camel. Like the humble, camel hump. Why that? I don't understand. You see? The hadith said, لا يدخلن الجنة. They will never enter Jannah. Subhanallah. That's very strong wa'id and warning. ولا يجدن ريحها. And they will never smell the Jannah. وإن ريحها لا يوجد من مثيرة كذا وكذا. Even the people are able to smell it from long distance. From so and so distance you can smell Jannah. But those people, they will never enter Jannah, nor they will smell its perfume. That is, very strong warnings and wa'id and really severe warnings. Be careful from dazzling and yourself. Be careful from going naked or wearing short clothes, or waking clothes can be see through or can shape your bodies. Be careful from wearing perfumes. Be careful from doing all this. Subhanallah. And even the hadith is warning people not to oppress others, not to do transgression against others. And the promise of Allah, of the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, they will never, ever smell Jannah, nor they will enter Jannah. And that is a sign of what? This hadith, I believe it from the miracles of the Messenger Muhammad ﷺ, Allah performed on the Messenger. Why? Because this is really mu'jiza. How? Something extraordinary. The Prophet said he never saw them in his life. How the Prophet going to know? It's going to be one day people who are really going to have like the camel hump. Not something you could imagine. Everything you could imagine. But camel hump, you can't imagine it. Woman to wear khimar like camel hump. Now we see it. You find the woman itself very face here, and her khimar is maybe half a meters above, her head. Sometimes you look at it like this, what's going on? You see, why all this hum? And so ugly anyway. I don't understand why they like it. I don't understand, honestly. It's ajib, gharib, ya Abu Philip. Anyway, but they like it. It's so simple to wear the khimar over the head. There's no need to do all this camel hum. So what they want to show, I don't understand. It doesn't make sense. Anyway, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, he spoke about them, kasiyatun ariyat. Who could say one day is going to be the clothes so attractive anyway? There's some people, they wear something, what you call it, I don't know. I'm not good in English in those terms. Those who wear certain, certain very tight clothes, and sometimes they wear t-shirt with trouser. Look what he said. She covered herself, and she wear khimar after that. T-shirt, you see, and trouser, maybe jeans, and she wear what? She wear the scarf. That is not covering. That is disaster. She would never enter Jannah, the hadith said. She would never smell it. That's quite serious, really, things. That's why thank God. Thank God, really, that is Allah guide us to the Iman and can make us from the people who cover themselves. And otherwise, disasters. And the Prophet said, he never saw them, but he saw them in hellfire. He never saw them in his real life. And today people wear this issue of skirt, very many skirt. And people can see that they are really, they said, yes, she's not naked. You see, she's covering herself. Covering herself, what do you mean? This mini skirt. Yeah, but that's fashion. And she wear under that, what you call this one, the thong. Okay, what that? What that? It's disaster. So, whether jeans, whether thongs, whether skirt, whether mini jeep, what's called in the French mini jeep, all this type of things. Even if she wear khimar, she is still called naked. So some of them, they may wear jilbab, but they wear over nothing. And you can see through. Some of them know. She come out with pinky jilbab or with very sharp yellow jilbab. Anybody can see that is so obvious. It is really attractive color. Therefore, any tight one or see-through one or can shape the bodies, it is called, it's a very doing tabarruj. Islam forbid that. And even we said ma'ilatun mubilat. Ma'ilat has two meanings. In the way they walk, they are really move and swing. And as well, ma'ilat is away from the obedience to Allah. And mubilat, and they do what they know is not allowed in Islam. And usually, al-mayl wa tamayul for the woman is known as the walking of the prostitute woman. The walking of the model. You see, usually when people do modeling, fashion or whatever, clothes, you can see them the way they walk. Catwalk, or this very sophisticated catwalk. You can say kitten walk. It's not good? Anyway, I take your word for it. You see, the way they walk, it is really people trained. So the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ speak about women going to walk like this. And those issues of above their own head, we can see now when people bring a special form of what? Of bonds, or ready, and they tied their own head with it, and even now they came with big flower. Big flower. You tied your head with big flower or big ball now. She wear it, she wear it and wear the khimar over it until it become like the camel head. So why they rise their own hair above their own head? How Rasulullah ﷺ is going to know that is the future fashion the woman going to do, and never was in the time of Rasulullah this fashion practice. Subhanallah, that to show you that prophesies about what's going to happen in the future. And may Allah save us from all this fitan. مَا ظَهَرَ مِنْهَا وَمَا بَطَنْ. And that dazzling is caused too much harm in the societies. That form of decorating herself and go out wearing perfume and walk in the street. Abu Hurairah one day he saw a woman passing by and she was going toward the masjid. And she passed by him and he can smell her perfume. And he said to her, where you are going? She said, I'm going to the mosque. He said, there you go back to your home and take ghusl. That's why, you see, and he said to her, go back to your home and take ghusl. Not allowed for a woman to wear perfume and go out from her home. Nowadays, they wear perfume, they do what's called deodorant, I don't know why. As if they are going for what? If they are going for people really shopping. You are going, from place to place. The hadith said the women go out and يخرجن وهن تفيلات. Going out free from any form of perfume and dazzlings. Based on that, I believe dazzling in any societies and the tabarruj and dazzling is harm the man and the woman in this life and the hereafter. And show you how much the woman is very shallow when she do that. When she put herself down to that level. And how much she is ignorant. And how much the dazzling which is forbidden upon the old woman and even the young woman and even the, Muslim girl. Whether the woman is beautiful or not beautiful, dazzling, it is great harm for the woman and for her bodies and for the whole societies, and bring humiliations and bring all the issues of dishonoring and cause fitna and destructions. That's why Allah promised severe punishment. And promised they will never smell Jannah. And the woman who do dazzling, she follow the footstep of the shaitan. And she contradict the Quran and the Sunnah. And she don't do transgressions against the boundaries, the limit, the right line, the red line, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it as a hududullah. And she become out without any shame, committing the fusq and disobedience. And something sad, honestly, something sad, and make any sincere Muslims, his heart is broken. And really make you cry. You know why? We see some of those Muslims, girls in the streets, in the colleges, in universities, in hospitals, even sometimes in the mosque, in the haram, everywhere. You see them showing their own bodies, or decorating their own faces. Even some fuqaha said the niqab is fard nowadays upon the woman to cover her face. Now some people, they don't cover their own face because they believe it's not fard directly, but they do decoratings and they do dazzlings. This is really bad. Reach to the level that they show some of their own bodies, whether they shape it or even they uncover it. That's why my advice to all the Muslim sisters and all the Muslims, girls, be careful from dazzlings and decorating yourself and going out from your home. You do that to your husband. Maybe decorate yourself in front of your own mahram, in front of your own families, close members of the families. And be careful from going out from the home without divine permit. Yes, da'wah is divine permit. You see, going to the mosque, divine permit. Going to the Hajj, divine permit. Visiting your family, divine permit. But doesn't mean when you go out to all this, to go out really without cover yourself properly. That's protection for you. Protection for your deen. Protection for your honor. In order to be elevated, not to be looking down and to be seen like sex object. And that's one of the greatest form of mischief and the fasad and the fawahish could be really widespread. And that is one of the corruptions which people imitate foreign women, kuffar women with it. Because that's what the Christians, that's what the Hindus, that's what the Sikhs, that's what the kuffar, they do. They really go out dazzling themselves, wearing itself very short and tight clothes, showing all their own really hairs and faces, and you see, and make decorations. That is the kuffar when they do that. Subhanallah. Even some of them, they start to imitate the kuffar to the level what? To the level they're wearing the wig, long hair, connecting hair, do the plucking. You see, wearing, all the form of dazzling. That is not allowed. That is forbidden for Muslim women to do so. The Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as reported in Sahih and in Musnad Imam Ahmad and in Abu Dawood, "Man tashabbaha biqawmin fahuwa minhum." Whoever imitates people is one of them. So that is not the clothes of the Muslim woman in Islam. You see, that is the clothes of the kuffar. So that dazzling and decorating and go out, it is promised from Allah And the Messenger of Allah said they will never enter Jannah. So, what you say, Muslim sisters, are you going to, for the sake, just for dunya, showing all your bodies, or some of your bodies, or uncover yourself? What for? To show off that I'm really pretty, I'm nice, or self-confidence as people with shaitan whisper to them? No, you are going to be deprived from Jannah, even from its smell. The other problem I can find, the Muslims, women and girls are really nothing bother about it a lot, the issue of free mixing. Ajib. Free mixing between foreign man and woman, foreign, brothers and sisters, foreign, really male and female, who are mature. This type of free mixing, meaning, free mixing between man and woman in the private life, okay, in the private arena, in the private places, that's completely forbidden. Or to free mix out publicly in entertainment places, or the places has no permit to be there in the first place, that is as well not allowed. However, I'm not speaking here about the khalwa, the seclusions, the individual seclusions, or between one man and one foreign woman in one really place nobody can see. That's haram, we know by necessity. Okay? That is called what? You call it exclusive? What you call it? The khalwa is to be alone in seclusion. Okay. Seclusion. So this seclusion between any foreign man with foreign woman is not allowed, even if he has big beard and himself got all the dishdasha, and she got the khimar and the jilbab and even the niqab, even all this, and she carry Quran and he carry himself the book of ahadith. If they are alone, they are really not mahram. If they are alone in any place, nobody can see them, that is haram. Shaitan are with them, embedded with them. So don't ever shaitan mislead. But I'm speaking about the issues with more than that. Because that's known by necessity. Even the ikhtilat, the premixing is known by necessity. Between any foreign man with foreign women who are not mahram. It's completely forbidden. It's very dangerous. Allah has warned the Muslims. You see, the both gender is to engage on that. In fact, that is one of the biggest causes of the fahisha, the unlawful sexual transactions or actions, you see, could happen. And what more dangerous than that is the issue of khalwa, as we said. Because that is all the gates of shaitan. The Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam reported in Musnad Imam Ahmad and Tirmizi said, لا يخلون رجل بامرأة إلا كان الشيطان ثالثهما. There is no seclusions between a man or woman except shaitan will be the third among them. So obviously any foreign man and foreign woman, they are not really mahram brothers or husbands or fathers, okay? Shaitan will be the third person with them. Islam forbids this khalwa. Allah told us about the wives of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who are really the most sincere, the honest, the people of taqwa, al-qanitat, al-abidat, al-dhakirat. In chapter Al-Ahzab, verse 53, Allah told us, وَإِذَا سَأَلْتُمُوهُنَّ مَتَاعًا فَاسْأَلُوهُنَّ مِنْ وَرَاءِ حِجَابٍ ذَلِكُمْ أَطْهَرُ لِقُلُوبِكُمْ وَقُلُوبِهِنَّ. If you ask them any questions about any matter of dunya, because they are the ulama, ask them behind curtain, min wara'i hijab. That is more pure for your heart and their heart. You can see, you can't just go, you see, I say, I can speak, you see, with the wife of the Prophet. Yes, they are the mother of the believers. So the ayah said, and whenever you want to ask them, you see, from wara'i hijab. This is really Al-Ahzab, verse 53. So, behind the screen, that is more pure for your heart. Even the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, in the hadith, he said, إِيَّاكُمْ وَالدُّخُولَ عَلَى النِّسَاءِ. He said, be careful from entering what? To the woman. To the woman place, woman site. This hadith in Bukhari and Muslims. The Prophet said, إِيَّاكُمْ وَالدُّخُولَ عَلَى النِّسَاءِ. Be careful from entering to the places, you see, or site for women. One man from the Ansar, he said, أَفَرَأَيْتَ الْحَمُ. What about the in-law? You see, my sister-in-law. Or the brother-in-law, both called Hamu. قال الحمو الموت. The Hamu is the death. The Hamu is known as the brother of the husband. Okay? Or the son, you see, of his brother. Or the uncle, mean the husband, his brother, the son of his brothers, his uncle, his cousin, all those people who are related to the husband, okay, they are the in-law or death. Islam is warning more than anybody else from that. So the sister of your wife, you are for her death, keep away. She should keep away from you and you keep away from her. And the fitna on that is bigger than any form of fitna. Because what? Because he is capable, the foreign man who is married to a sister, he is capable easy to become closer to the sister of his wife and even be closer to her to the level to do khalwa. And nobody will doubt him because he entered to the families, you see, side, to his in-law side, which is completely different than the one who is completely foreigners. That's why the hadith said, be careful from entering to the woman, even to the in-laws. That's quite serious, is a death. And the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in Bukhari al-Muslim said, لا يخلون أحدكم بامرأة إلا مع ذي محرم. No one of you should meet woman and have khalwa with her except if her mahram presence. If it happened, you want to ask her hand, you want to go to get married and ask the hand of the sisters, you're going to be present with her father or brother or mahram with her. So this is the issues of the khalwa. And we will have a break for really 2 minutes and we'll come back to you inshallah. So anybody meet any foreign woman, any place no one can see them, and that happens nowadays a lot, whether inside houses or really outside, any places cannot be seen by anybody. Nowadays people start to take women who are free women as a servant in their own home, who is foreigners completely, whether she is Muslim or not, to work as a servant. And then she came all the way sometimes from really foreign countries, maybe really like here. They bring people from India subcontinent, people from Africa, people from Sri Lanka, from Philippines, from everywhere. And they make them what? Working at their own home as a servant. And obviously not allowed. Why? Because she's going to be inside the house, either going to free mix or going to have khalwa. It's worse thing. Are you going to have ikhtilat, free mixings, with a foreign man, or is going to have khalwa between him and between her and the man on that house, his own children. You see, and not all of them children. Some of them is really mature children. That's not allowed. That's where the shaitan, he play his big role. And the role of the shaitan here is inevitable, going to cause what? Going to cause harm. The hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when he forbid any form of remixing, any form of khalwa. If his khalwa is forbidden, let alone to go further than that in a private house. Khalwa, to be in public place, nobody could see you and you are together on the same place, That is khalwa. Let alone to be inside private houses. And we know, by default, man inclined toward the woman, by fitra. And the woman inclined toward the man. You see, that male and female. Yes, there's some people now, male, but those male is not big deal. Couple of flashes for the male, they will wake up. You see, couple of flashes, some of them will be stoned to death, that's it. They will no longer be male. He become really hard male. But now it's easy, everybody himself take it easy, and they're crying, you know. They're crying all the time in the street. What we want to be homosexual, what we want. Hummus, call for hummus, long live hummus. They call it hummus, they call it, you know, we call it hummus. Anyway, but when we have Islamic State, all those lesbian and homosexuals and the male is going to be really disappear. Not going to be exist. Because when one man, he really behave like woman, and he function like a woman, couple of flashes, he will be really Tyson. He become fighters. He's no longer himself really. What you call him? I don't know what you call him in English. Anyway, see now, the people who are hermaphrodite mentally, but there's some people hermaphrodite physically. Fair enough. Those people will be treated the way they are really inclined to be. If somebody his organ is more woman, he become different. Sissy, yes, sissy. Hairdresser. Oh no, hairdresser. We can't say that. Oh, come on. Our brothers is hairdressers. I know you call them hairdressers in your country. In our country, what you call it hairdresser? Because this man halak. But sissy. Okay. So the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said in general, not to go to the woman's side. And the shaitan will play, okay, barber. Okay, fair enough. From all this, we can see nowadays people are practicing that everywhere in the Muslim country. What is more than that, which is completely forbidden, when we start to see people take drivers for their own children, okay, taxi driver, or drivers for their own house, and they start to take his wife to the market, and he collects, you see, the drivers, foreign driver, collect the girls, you know, to the schools, and bring them back, take them to the market, they do shopping, sometimes he may take them to the parks, okay? Whether he's a Muslim or not Muslims, it is really irrelevant. When he drive a private car and the woman go with him, that's it, finish. That is not the place woman could be. Subhanallah. Even if we assume he's good man and man of taqwa, but still is haram. Because anything is evil, it could be happen even from the wise practice Muslims. Why? Because he's been put in situation Islam forbid, and the shaitan will play his role. And one of the free mixing Islam forbid is really women to travel outside without mahram. What that? It's not allowed. That's forbidden. The hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was agreed upon in Bukhari and Muslim. لا تسافر المرأة إلا مع ذي محرم. Women should not traveling except with mahram. Mahram means father, brother, husband, sons, uncle, some male. Mahram not female. Mahram is a male to the woman, related male to the woman. Okay? Not to say two sisters together. It's not mahram. I'm talking about sisters plus sister plus sisters. Still all of them female. You can't just because there are 5 sisters to say there are 5 brothers and sisters. They are all of them sisters. There's no brothers. So the questions of the mahram always apply for man, not for woman. So a woman should not travel without her own mahram. If that public transportations, consider in Islam, when she travel with public transportations. She cannot travel in any public transportations without mahram. And one of the free mixing Islam is forbid about, even if they are brothers and sisters, subhanallah. Brothers and sisters, male and female, to free mix after the age of tamyiz, age of 7. Some fuqaha age of 10. they cannot be at the same room or the same bed. You should separate between them in the madaja. Some fuqaha said in the madaja is the room. Some fuqaha said in the bed. We will take it ourselves, separate it into different beds. If that between brother and sisters. Why? Because Islam forbids free mixing between the two gender, opposite gender. No way. In the emergency, different story. But that original rules. Allah forbid us to free mix inside the houses. That's why I said, don't go to people's houses out to ask permission. In order what? In order people to organize themselves. That's why chapter of An-Nur, verse 27, Allah says, يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تدخلوا بيوتا غير بيوتكم حتى تستأنسوا وتسلموا على أهلها. Oh believers, don't enter houses different than your houses. Don't enter homes different than your homes until you take permission. And then you salute the families. And the way you take permissions, to say what? To say, As-salamu alaykum adkhul. You should say that maximum 3 times to get permission. So at that time, never they have bell. You know, no jungle bell and no bell. Now you press the bell, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si. That's what that disaster. You press the bell, who's bad? And it become music. That's why the bell ring now. Each one got different tune. Sometimes you don't know. You press the bell, din, ta, what that? You see? Rock and roll. You see, this is disaster. And you see what? The house is the house of the big Maulana. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Now, some people said, Akhi, I'm Sufi. Press the bell of my home and see. You press Mustafa, Jani, Rahmat. Oh my God. So, however, the issues of when you go to any house, you need to ask permission. And the permission to say, As-salamu alaykum adkhul. That's the way. The hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. If being granted permission, he will enter. If they say to him, Na'am, tafaddal, he will enter. That means he be given permission. As-salamu alaykum adkhul. You can say it in English. As-salamu alaykum. Can I come in? If they say to you, you said 3 times. If nobody answer you, what the ayah said? They said, return back. Mean you have no permission. Don't sit outside and camping and waiting until they say to you, go. No, I want to stay there. Keep ringing the bell. Dee. Yeah, Sheikh. You should just ring the bell and go. You see, don't wait more than 2 rak'ah and go back to your home. So, when you go inside, you are not allowed to wander inside the people's house. You go to the place, you sit opposite to the door where the woman or the awrah could be really exposed, and you sit and you do not look around. Start to open the drawer here, drawer there, and the window there. No. You stay in the chair. You don't move because you don't want to be involved in free mixing. Islam does not permit. Now, there is a permit in the public arena. People, when they go to the mosque, to the market, or even sometimes to the Sharia colleges, they may happen in the public arena. People, they may prevail, man and woman. But even though there's certain really organizing way, the man in one side and woman on the other side. Now, if you see in one road, all men in one directions, and one woman wander between them, she should go move to other side, whereas the women are in other directions. That the decent, really Muslim sisters is to see herself to be always in area with more women gatherings than the area with more men gathering. But in the haram, that public arena, Islam does not permit the public arena. It could be happen, you see, free meeting, not free mixing. Public meetings, man in the back, woman in the front, woman in the back, or man in one side, woman on the other side. That could happen in the market, in the school, could be happen really on the Sharia school, okay, just in case. Or it could be happen really in the courts, could be happen in the hospitals, could be happen in the place Islam has permit. But that in the public arena, not private arena. in the public places. This is really important for us, for the Muslim sister to know. So Muslim sister, she's obliged to know that she should cover all her bodies, okay? Not allowed to be seen from her bodies, except if she is not fitna and she's not dazzling herself and she is not in the place everybody cover their own faces. If she been really seen in the public arena with her khimar and the jilbab, that is a very hard upon the Muslim woman, and not to be involved in the free mixing with any man in a private life, nor, you see, to have khalwa with any foreign man, you see, or free mixing with any foreign man in the private life, or even in the public lives where nobody can see them. Moreover, men and women should avoid to go in any public places which has entertainment on it. They are not going there for area Islam permit. They go to public places where these people are sitting, playing man and woman together, having itself some parties, having some really entertainment. Some people go to cinema, some people go to theater. All this is not allowed. And one of the things really is, we will find it is very odd, and the Muslim woman should not really involve in that. That is the fact, coming out and start to do the job of man. Means start out to go to work without the divine permit. She has not only, you see, husband or father or mother can provide to her, she as well will provide it with a lot of money. But unfortunately, she has been following the fashion that women can go out from the home without any divine permit. The fact, you see, she is really allowed for her to come out from the home because she got permission from the husband, she said. But doesn't mean she go out without a divine permit from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, His Messenger. See, the husband got permission to go to where it's permissible in Islam, to the mosque, to the Hajj, okay, to whatever, if he provide for her the necessarily mahram for her. The other things really I found it very odd. Muslim sisters should avoid it. Is these ideas which is said that she is engaged to a brother and she start to speak with him, whether in the internet, whether in email, whether text messages, whether SMS, whether it's Twitter, whether Facebook, whether I don't know now. There's a lot of things. Whether with the bird, the pigeons, say really with the pigeons, the old-fashioned one. All right. Why? I don't understand. He said, I want to be attracted to her. She wants to be attracted to me, or I want to know her more. She wants to know me more. I mean, they want to develop some form of inclination toward each other. Any inclination toward each other is called tawaddud. Is before marriage is forbidden. Before the nikah contract is forbidden. If you engage to a sister, you go to her parent, ask her hand from her father, and that's it. If you want to speak with her, you speak with her in front of her mahram. If you are really going to visit her, only about Islam or about the preparation for the nikah day. There is nothing called to phone her early in the morning to tell her your dream you saw yesterday about her. That's not allowed. Or she phoned you, she said, I saw a dream, I saw you in my dream. And start to speak with her, honey, how are you? I'm fine, sweetheart. I missed you yesterday. I was thinking about you all the night. That's not allowed. It's only between husband and wife. And the other thing, need to remember, whenever you engage, no way to be the engagement for years. What talking about? The engagement only for a few days. Few days, 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, 3 months. But you cannot go out with her alone. Even for the preparation of the marriage, you need to go out with the mahram. Nor you become yourself, start to treat yourself as really as I am first. I'm like her husband. No, it's not allowed. Let alone to touch her or to have any introductions for what we call ourselves relationship. Touching, kissing, or whatever. That's not allowed. Even you are engaged to her. And one other things. Islam, yes, permit you to look to the girl you want to engage to. That the hadith mentioned, إِذَا خَطَبَ أَحَدُكُمْ امْرَأَةً. This hadith of Muslim Imam Ahmad. If a man engaged to a woman, فَلَا جُنَاحَ عَلَيْهِ أَنْ يَنظُرَ مِنْهَا. No harm is upon him if he wished to look at her. إِذَا كَانَ إِنَّمَا يَنظُرُ إِلَيْهَا لِخُطْبَةٍ وَإِنْ كَانَتْ لَا تَعْلَمْ. If he was looking for her for the sake to engage to her, even if she did not know that he looking at her. Looking at her be looking to her face, looking to her hands, you see, but that's it. Not to say, okay, I'm allowed to see whatever I like. No, who said that? There's some people crazy. They said he can see from her whatever he like. What means whatever he like? She's not allowed to uncover front of him. So it's wrong. Because engagement, you are just coming to ask her hand. And you see in front from her father. So it should not be long-term engagement. Very short-term. If Islam does not permit a one who wants to engage for a sister to look at her except for the purpose of engagement, and look to what? Maybe to her face, to her hands. Let alone for a person to wander in the street and looking everywhere. If Islamic ground permit for the one who wants to engage, let alone for the one who does not really have this permit, he is sinful. That's why Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he asked women to go to Salatul Eid, they said to him, the woman, they said, Ya Rasulullah, إحدانا لا يكون لها جلباب. Some of us, we could not have jilbab. What we should do? فقال لتلبسها أختها بالجلبابها. Let her sisters make her wear her jilbab. Means the sister, she will go first. When she returns, she will give her jilbab to the other sister who stay at home. Then she will go out. That means what? It was well-known practice amongst the women and the Sahabiyat that woman should not go out from her home except wearing jilbab, loose, barrel, dress, covering from her neck up to her ankle and covering her head with khimar. That an evidence that woman no way to go out without khimar and jilbab. This is why in Bukhari and Muslim the Prophet said, let her wait until her sister return, and you see, lend her jilbab if she have no jilbab for herself. And reported in Bukhari and Muslim hadith of Aisha, that she said, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was praying the Fajr, and used to be attend the Salatul Fajr. You see some women from the believers, فيشهد معه نساء من المؤمنات متلفعات بمروطهن ثم يرجعن إلى بيوتهن ما يعرفهن أحد من الغلس from the people. He said they used to be women pray behind Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam on the Fajr. They used to cover themselves, even cover their own faces. So they go back to their own home. Nobody could recognize who they are. And she said, لو رأى رسول الله من النساء ما رأينا لمنعهن من المساجد. This hadith of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, hadith mawquf, that Aisha, she said, if Rasulullah saw what we saw from the woman today, what we see from the woman today, he could prevent them from the mosques. Obviously, some fuqaha said that hadith is an evidence that covering, it was common practice among all the women in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who are the best centuries. And as well proof that Aisha and Abdullah ibn Mas'ud testified that it's not allowed for the woman to go out without khimar and jilbab. If Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he will prevent them even to go to the mosque. The way we see today with people who are really moderate chocolate Muslims, YMO style they call them, okay, or Amru Khat style, when they go out with a trouser or with a shirt or with whatever, that's not allowed. So the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he's make it clear for the woman is to cover herself in front of any foreign man. That's why on the issues of the niqab is topic by itself. We will speak it another time, inshallah. I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we did cover some of the points which is really women should know about it. And inshallah tomorrow we'll have part 2 about what type of jilbab is should the woman wear and consider while she going out from her home. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. There's a question from a sister. Sheikh, I want to ask you, what made you ask for forgiveness to Nasrallah wa Hizbullah? Why did you apologize to them? I trust you and I believe that there is a good reason why you did that. Jazakallahu khair, sister. First of all, I did not ask forgiveness from Nasrallah or Hizbullah. Sincerely, we ask forgiveness from none but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The question, what happened? That is, I have been received the sentence prison for life. So I appealing for the Muslims community in general, and even I appeal to all the people, including the governments and muftis, and even to Hizbullah, bearing on the mind that is before 3 months, Hizbullah in Lebanon issued fatwa to forbid all the Rafida sayings, such as swearing at the Sahaba, attacking Aisha al-Mu'mineen, saying the Quran is being distorted. So in other words, they withdraw themselves from the Rafida sayings. So you maybe and I maybe don't trust them fully in my heart, because they may use taqiyya. But if they said we are not going to do that anymore, or is forbidden, that means they are deviant, Ahlul Qibla, people of Qibla, deviant from Nahj al-Salaf, deviant from my, way, from Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. But I cannot change my views, that is Rafida are kafir, ta'ifat shirk. So when they said so, really I was trying 3 months before that sentence. However, after I've been arrested and put in prisons, and Hassan Nasrallah and Hizbullah sent solicitor for me to help me in order not to politicize my case, so I did really already beforehand our sayings. You see, whoever said what the Rafida said, he's a mushrik. And they say, we don't say that. I say, okay, you are deviant from Nahj al-Salaf. And therefore, I did thank them for their stand with me, not to let the secular people from the so-called Sunnis, who are really want to handle me to Syria, and they want to give me to the American, blah, blah, blah. So, and the Prophet Muhammad said, Man la yashkur al-nas, la yashkur Allah. The one who is not really thanks people for what they do good for him, he's not the person who will thank Allah. And then I declare as well, you see, I apologize for all my criticizing to you as a Rafida. After I heard your fatwa, you are not Rafida. You see, therefore I will treat you like Ahlul Qibla. So this is where I publicly mentioned that, when I still was really in situations of in captivity on trial, and my trial did not finish yet until the 21st of March 2011. So that is exactly what I said. Bearing on the mind, I believe anybody speak what the Rafida said, I will call him kafir, whether claim himself to be Sunni or to be Shi'i. Sunni and Shi'i, I consider both of them deviant from Nahj al-Salaf. And if any one of them speak what the Rafida said, I will call him kafir. And usually, the Shia, the Rafida are Shia, but not every Shi'i Rafidi. Or at least, if they said, we do not say what the Rafida said. Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah don't put all the people together in one basket. Be careful. When we speak about Sufis, there's different type of Sufis. When we speak about Shi'i, there's different type of Shi'is. But the best among Shi'i, the best among Sufis, the best among Mazhabis are deviant from Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Dali. So that's where I stand, and still myself, I am Sunni, Salafi to the bone, inshallah, and I will stand always with Ahlul Sunnati wal Jama'ah, and no way for me to accept Shi'ism or Sufism. Even if they do not say any kufr word, but the fact they do not follow Nahj Salaf, they are deviant. Now, if any Shia said what the Rafida said, I will call him kafir. This is really where my stand and what I said. And Allah, He knows that is really, when I appeal for all Muslims. But when the Sunnis try to sell me out, Allah sent to me even Shia to stand with me. So what you want me to say more than that? Let us come to the question, inshallah. As for the question here, وَإِيَّاكُمْ, if the husband has brothers, should he bring his wife to live in his home? I believe living in your in-law is not healthy at all, though it's permissible, but it's very painful, very difficult. You need to have a lot of regulations. So to live in your in-law home, yes, is allowed, but you cannot remix with your brother's in-law. So the man in the first place, he needs to know the consequences. She should not remix with her brother-in-law home, even if her husband is there. She can't be with khalwa with him. He can't leave home and she is alone and her brother's in his own house home, even if she is in her own room. So hard. She needs to be covered all the time inside the home. So it's not healthy at all. Is the man who is looking to get married allowed to look at the hair of the woman? Some fuqaha said, okay, I believe personally, no, it is not allowed to show her hair. He can ask his mother to describe her to him. His mother can see, so his sister can see her, but not anything else. Some fuqaha said only for the purpose of marriage. I do not really believe that is valid, have valid evidence. The Ibn Hazm, Allah, what he said that Jabir, he tried to engage the woman, he started to look to her secretly. That is really, it is the hadith in Isnad have something, strange on it. We said gharib. Gharib, you see, to the level he could see her, really spy on her to see what he liked. No, it's not allowed. Even if you want to engage with a girl, you cannot spy on her secretly to see how she look like. Some fuqaha said he can see her hair, you see, only for the purpose of engagement, but he should not talk. Fair enough. That is an opinion for them, but I follow the opinion she should not show anything. He can see only her face and her hands, and that's it, in front of the mahram. Wallahu a'lam. Okay, is it haram for a woman to wear saris and high heels in the public arena? Of course it's not allowed to wear the saris and high heels. What do you mean? She need to wear khimar and jilbab. If the sari is something she put over khimar and the jilbab, is become dazzling. The high heel is dazzling. Especially if it's very thin heels, that is completely form of dazzling, will give noise, will make her wave, etc. Is the mother-in-law and father-in-law mahram to the woman? Yes, her mother and father, okay, she can free-mix with her father-in-law. Alright? But the man, the son-in-law, he cannot have khalwa with his mother-in-law, nor she can uncover front of him. So, especially if the mother-in-law with the same age of her son-in-law, very close ages. What about the situation where a Muslims activist, oh my God, you jumped straight away. Let me stop the setting to scroll. Okay. Alright, question here. Does anybody record these lectures? I think so. Okay, we go down. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. Can a woman wipe over the khimar? Wipe over the khimar if she is in public place such as washroom where there are no Muslim women. What mean wipe? Can a woman wipe over the khimar? Answer what mean wipe. Let me just see if somebody translates what mean wipe. Wipe for wudu. That's what you're talking about. Oh, I see. I understand. Over the khimar, if she is in public place such as washroom where there are non-Muslim women, she can, wipe from under the khimar, not in the top of it. Her hair must touch, her hand must touch her hair. She can pass her hair under her khimar, even if it was 4 fingers to pass it little bit, it is really, but not above the khimar. Alright? Even in the public place, even in the washroom, in front of non-Muslim women. But she can do it under the khimar, wiping her head, but not her khimar. Okay. She and sister born from same mothers, but different fathers. Are they mahram to one others? From the same mother, from different fathers. You see, they are not mahram to each other. They are not mahram to each other, no. The woman who carry children from one husband, and she go to marry another husband, why she kept her husband children? The moment she divorced from her husband, you see, the children will transfer to the father. She can go now to another man and carry children from him as she wish. But she can't collect children from all her husbands in one room. That is maybe she is the mother, but they are not her children. All the children will be attributed to the father. Therefore, if a woman married and have children from her ex-husband, you see, that children to her new husband is not mahram to them. I mean, if she got daughter from her ex-husband, that daughter must cover the front of her really new husband. Because he is not what they call stepfather. He is a foreigner for that girl. Now, when she have children from this man, that children from this man are not brothers or sisters, you see, for her children from her ex-husband. Watch out. Watch out. This is issues very important to remember. Unfortunately, nowadays, people do not ask. They follow Western way of life. They say, oh, she's the same mother. She's no longer called mother after she gets married. After she gets married, she will never be the word mother. She become the one who delivered them. Yes, respectively, will call mother. You see, they are her own mothers, but she cannot keep mothering them after they get divorced or she get khula and she went to get married. Before she get married, different story. You see, she can mothering them with the permission of her ex-husband. But after she get married, she's not entitled to mother them. His children should not live with stepfather. That nothing exists in Islam, stepfather. Wallahu a'lam. Okay, the question here. Alright, the other question I can see. What is the situation of brothers who say to bride's family that they will move out of their parent home as soon as they get married? But once they get married, they don't move out. Obviously, that's not allowed. You see, if you give promise that I'm going to keep out, you see, to move out of my family soon, you see, you need to fulfill that promise. But the issue of soon is very ambiguous. You know, how soon? What means soon? How soon? 1 year, 2 years, 3 years? Could be soon 50 years. Therefore, the word soon is subjective. Okay? So he needs himself to make effort sincerely to move, to live even with a tent. And a tent is much better than to live with his families. And believe me, if the situation broke out between him and his mother, between his wife and his mother, will never ever recover. The father and mothers is really king and queen living at their own home and kingdom. So if you're going to bring another wife, another lady, if you're going to get married and bring your wife to live on the same home, under the same roof, your wife's supposed to be the queen and you're supposed to be the king. But now, both of you under your mother and father, you're going to be, you see, the children, not queen and really and king. Because no way to have two kings on the same kingdom, nor to have two queens under the same roof. So you can see by default, the new wife, she's not going to be queen in her home because she has no home for herself, no room for herself, no tent for herself. Even if she wants to be in her own bedroom, she's going to be all the time under the authorities of the queen, and that is really the mother. You see the question, the situation is it's going to be by default weaken your stance and your wife's stance. That's why not advisable. But if people can live with maturities and accept to live with maturities, and usually it's quite difficult to find that very good practice Muslims, mother-in-law and father-in-law and daughter-in-law, etc., etc. You will find always some problems occur here and there. Okay. The other issues on the screen. Can women wear shoes that do a little tack noise when walking? It's not allowed because that is really form of khilkhal. The khilkhal by default, what she wear whenever she move and make chain, they call them chain bill. You keep the chain they put in their own feet. Okay, the chain feet. I don't know khilkhal. You see the khilkhal, which is really usually the Hindus as well. They wear it a lot in their own. It's called anklet. Okay, that give noise whenever she move. So if she wear some shoes like this, she should put some the special form of leather, or they wear it. Okay, they should form of leather. Okay, she wear it in order to prevent the tic-tac walking. It's not allowed. What about if the husband is out for walk, da'wah, etc.? Can she be alone with them in home? She can, providing that her brothers-in-laws are not free mix with her. She stay at her own room, or they go move in their own private room and close the door. But she cannot free mix and sit down. What about the situation when a Muslim activist marry a woman who also is an activist? But once get married, the man stop his wife from continue with the work of da'wah. Naturally, the woman before get married is not the same after getting married. The Muslim girl, when she married, become Muslim woman, definitely she have extra responsibility. And that extra responsibility in Islam, which is really, she need to balance her now duties toward her husband, towards her children, towards the da'wah. It's not going to be the same like before they get married. That very natural things to happen. But he should himself, as a da'i, he should, as a da'i, is to help her, okay, to facilitate for her a way she can perform her fard. But if she help him to do his fard fully, inshallah, that is will help, and she will remove, inshallah, the burden or the sin from her neck. But the burden is there until the fard is fulfilled. Okay. If a Muslim woman marry a kafir, is that an act of kufr? Take her out of the fold of Islam? Muslim woman to marry kafir, definitely that is sin. And if she accepts his wilaya over her, and she obey him, even after it was haram, that is an act of what? An act of kufr. An act of kufr. Because Islam forbid the woman to be under the kafir. If she accepts his wilaya after we told this is haram and she accepted, definitely she is form of wilaya kubra, and that is taken out of form of Islam. Is allowed to wear designer clothes, and should man cover their chest? See, even if we said man is awrah between the navel and the knee, doesn't mean he's going to go out in the streets, show his shoulders, show his muscles, show his chest. That is not allowed. He will get a couple of flashes and will make him behave himself. We said about his awrah is between navel and knee, but doesn't mean at all he's going to come out dazzling himself. Even man to dazzle himself in the public arena, he will be punished by the Islamic State. He can't. He need to cover himself properly. Even the salat. Islam in the salat does not permit the man to show he should cover his shoulder and his upper arm. Okay? Should be covered. You can't just stand with nothing and pray. Okay? You can't do that. You see, you need to be something over your shoulder. So, let alone to be out in the street in foreign, even in the Islamic State, if something permissible could lead to haram, become haram. Nowadays, people, they have these bodybuilders, and when they move, they can move their own chest, one up, one down, and move their own muscles, and start to attract women in the street. And who is bad? That is, will be prevented immediately by Qadi Hisbah, will come and give him cup of lashes. Okay. Question here. I heard that it was narrated that Ibn Mas'ud said the messengers of Allah taught me that the tashahhud with my hand between his hand, just as taught me a surah from the Quran, Tahiyyat lillah wa salawat al-tayyibat lillah, etc. Yes, there's hadith like this. That was when he was still amongst us. When he passed away, we started to say, As-salamu ala nabi. What is better for us to say tashahhud? I even heard that some scholars say that is the first version of tashahhud is shirk. No, it has nothing to do with shirk. You see, As-salamu ala nabi wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, you can say that. Okay, As-salamu alayka ayyuhan nabi wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, you can say that. That is both. That's not really his problem. Maybe the second one is more accurate because some learners today start to use it to say that it's allowed to the Prophet's still alive. They say, Ya Muhammad, Ya Rasulullah. That terms has become from the prohibited form of terms because of their own belief that he's still Hadir, Nadir, etc., etc. Sheikh, was Yazid ibn Muawiyah responsible for the massacres at Karbala as the Shia claim? We believe, we Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah believe Yazid have nothing to do with the assassinations or the killing and murdering of Al-Hussein bin Ali radiyallahu ta'ala anhuma, and whoever killed Al-Hussein ibn Ali, as far as Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah is concerned, are cursed, and they are the people who will be punished in hellfire. So this is, but who is the person? Obviously, we have evidences about Shumar, one who was from Shia al-Hussein. He is the one who promised to assassinate Hussein if he go to negotiate with Yazid ibn Muawiyah. And not to forget, Yazid and Hussein both was very close in terms of fightings, close to each other in jihad, shoulder by shoulder against the Crusaders, against the Roman at that time. If a woman decides not to marry, does she have more right than the father to keep the children? If the woman decides not to marry, the children will go to the father. But if the father agreed to keep the children with her, in this case, he's obliged to pay for the nafaqah for the children and even to pay salary from their own mother to look after his own children, because he's not obliged to keep his children. So that's why in the past, woman, she doesn't want to keep her husband's children because she don't belong to him. Why she want to carry his own children? That's why if he want her to keep his children, she used to ask him to pay salary for her, to look after his children, besides he pay spending for their own food, clothes, shelters. However, if woman decide not to get married and the husband agreed to keep the children with her, in this case, she has the permit of the husband. Now, in certain circumstances, if the woman kept her children because the husband is not good or he's not responsible, and she decided not to get married, and whether he die or whether she become widow, or she's divorcee, and she wants to keep herself free for the children, this woman will be constituted to be a good mother, a good woman. Even her children will respect her more if she go and get married. Sheikh, is this a real hadith? Is this a real hadith? Aisha, may Allah radiallahu ta'ala anha, reported that is Sahla bint Suhail come to Rasulullah and said, Messenger of Allah, I see on the face of Abu Hudayfa sign of disgust on entering of Salim. Salim Mawla Hudayfa, that hadith is hadith mentioned in Zad al-Ma'ad, and that hadith as well is hadith Sahih. So whenever Salim enter, see to the home, he become upset. So he asked her to breastfeed him. Alright, she said, how I can breastfeed him and he is a grown-up man. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he smiled and he said, I already know that he is a young man. You see, okay, this is hadith. Is hadith sahih. And the hadith, it is really was not specific for Salim, you see, who is the servant of Salim Mawla Hudayfa, the servant of Hudayfa. However, that is Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah dealt with that hadith, and they said the hadith is sahih, and for that they adopt the breastfeeding of the woman to breastfeed, and young man or adult is become mahram to her. And this is really whereas the hadith is cause problems, because we say not allowed for a man to shake hand of a foreign woman, let alone to be breastfed with her. And however, we will outweigh that hadith with the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You see, and the breastfeeding in Islam for adults is not allowed if it's really going to be breastfed directly from her chest. But that is only for Salim, Mawla Huzaifa. Why? Because Huzaifa, he has Salim when he was baby. He grown up with his wife at his own home before Islam forbid adoption. When Islam forbid adoption, it was a problem for Salim, who always considered Hudayfa to be his own father, and his wife, that is called Sahla bint Suhail, she was like his mother. So Islam will forbid the adoption, tabanni. It was a problem after that Huzaifa he faced with Salim, because he considered him always to be his own son, etc. So this is the whole story and of it. And we said we'll outweigh it with this one, with the original rules. Woman should really not be and shown her awrah to anybody, and that was specific to Salim and to Sahla and Huzaifa. Allahu A'lam. Let me just see the last few questions mentioned here. Okay. Is allowed for a sister to travel alone on the taxi? You see the taxi two types. Big public, you see taxi with public sign, and there's something called, which is called the other one. Something called in Britain, minicab. Okay. The issue of taxi, it is really remove the doubt of the haram which is stay in the bag, but is not really advisable to be alone. But minicab, there's doubt of the haram because it's a private car, not known to be taxi. However, in minicab or taxi, woman always should be with somebody else accompany her. It is better for her deen and for her safety. Wallahu a'lam. What is the sole? What if the sole of the shoes make noise just loud enough for yourself to hear it? Can't hear from farther away. It's permissible. The only question is, you see, if that really noise of the shoes become really trick, track. In this case, she needs to do what necessarily in order to avoid that, because that will attract people to look, you see, to whom is coming. That will divert people to look at her. Can women remove facial hair and eyebrow which is connected to each other's? The questions of removing what is in the middle, connect her eyebrows, to remove it, as long as not involve what called plucking, it is allowed for her, maybe to use some coloring, maybe to use some what called removal by waxing, but not definitely by plucking. But to change the shape of her eyebrows is not allowed, and to use plucking to all of her face is not allowed. You are not allowed to marry your foster sisters. Does that make them a mahram? In the same for stepfathers? No, it's not allowed, you see, to marry your foster sisters. Even, you see, when people speak about stepfathers as well, not allowed for women to wear her stepfathers. Alright? Sorry, not allowed for the girl to marry her father-in-law. Alright? If the daughter-in-law not allowed to marry father-in-law. But for the girl who grown up with woman, she married, that girl is not forbidden upon what? Upon the stepfather. Not forbidden. It is forbidden for marriage, but it's not mahram. He's not mahram to her. The issue of the marriage, different story than the issue of mahram. I give you example for that. If the girl, the daughter-in-law, is her father-in-law mahram or not? The father-in-law is a mahram to the daughter-in-law, beyond doubt. That is her mahram. And she can, in front of him, even uncover her head. It's mahram. It's true. But when his son divorced her, she become no longer daughter-in-law. But she is forbidden to marry him forever. But can she uncover front of him after his son divorced her? She can't. You see? But she is forbidden to marry her ex-father-in-law forever. So the issue of marriage is nothing to do with the issue of cover and cover. The same thing. You are not allowed to marry your mother-in-law. It's forbidden for life to marry your mother-in-law. But that is the hukum of marrying your mother-in-law. Not the hukum of your mother-in-law to uncover front of you. That is irrelevant. You see, because the ayah said, and woman should uncover herself, or the man who is allowed to see the woman not covering her head, counts all of them, 7 or 8 of them, even count the children, count the woman, did not count son-in-law. You see, there's certain things, people need to read it properly before they speak out about it traditionally or with custom, etc., etc. Are men allowed to wear body spray, and should they avoid wearing bright clothes? Obviously, the man should not allowed to wear clothes colorful, red, pinky, reddish. This is not allowed for the man to wear. Plus, should not wear any clothes show their own awrah. Very tight jeans. You need half an hour to go in and half an hour to go out of it. This is not allowed. And even to wear a perfume contain alcohol, or to wear deodorant contain alcohol, that is not allowed. You see, etc. And anyway, or to wear clothes of women, and women to wear clothes of men is not allowed. This is well known. To wear clothes of kuffar, you see, to wear clothes of the people of fusuq and fujur. You see, you can find somebody to wear a design of kafir, like to wear Michael Jackson form of clothes, or to wear Elvis Presley uniforms. That's not allowed for the Muslim man to wear those. And the same thing for Muslim women to wear any kafir woman, or model, let's say, clothes. That's not allowed. Anyway. Okay, the question here. Sometime in college, in the classroom, videos and films are shown in the room with the man and woman. It is allowed to stay in the class. I don't understand the questions. You see, in some college, in the classroom, videos and films are shown in the room. Is allowed to stay in that class. If the class is speaking about matter to do with Hajj, okay, matter to do with how to perform Hajj, and there is really sessions about Islam, and the woman on one side and man on one side, and the films about Hajj is allowed. If the people themselves really in the classroom and they speak about the phenomena of raining, and the man explained that, and the sisters in the room or the brother in the room speaking about how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made that phenomena happen, okay, and how we said in the Quran, is allowed because it becomes da'wah. It depends really about the situations. But if you speak about man and woman sitting at home or sitting in the classroom and they're watching really them home and away, or whatever it's really EastEnders, film, or whatever, this is not allowed because it's become entertainment and they are free mixing in entertainment really environment. That's not allowed. Wallahu a'lam. Oh, we can hear your shoes, just a little sound coming. Okay. Sheikh, is it permissible to do da'wah for HT such as distributing leaflet? Is it permitted to do da'wah for HT such as distributing leaflet? What mean to do da'wah to HT distributing leaflet? Mean to give them da'wah? Yes, it's allowed for you because HT people, like any other Muslims who are deviant from Nahj al-Salaf, you invite them to Nahj al-Salaf, or you tell them about the affair of the Muslim Ummah or about the situation of the jihad, so you can distribute leaflet to them. Alright, it's no problem. Not allowed to watch EastEnders drama at home. That is purely the Western cultures and invading your home all the time. This woman married to this man have affair with this woman, and this woman have affair with her dogs, and the dogs have affair with the father and the mother. I don't understand. Sometimes it's crazy films, the children loving each other, having boyfriend, girlfriend. This type of culture should not enter to your home and access to your own home, because Islam does not permit that. Isn't it haram for women to wear high heel? Because I read that it was deceitful because they appear to be taller than they really are. I mean, that is really another form of dazzling. Okay, maybe this is really could say, but I believe the long heel, the high heel, is not only about the issue of the tone, is the issue about make them move right and left. Right and left, that is not allowed. It is halal for Muslim to make hijrah without mahram because she don't have a mahram. Woman to have hijrah without mahram, if she's a convert Muslim sisters, she have to move to the nearest Muslim house who has really wife, and she stay with that wife until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help her to find a way out to get married before she make hijrah. There's no way to make hijrah, okay, by herself alone, traveling without mahram and make hijrah, etc. Need for herself to have mahram. First, sort out her problem. She's convert sisters and she got parent and doesn't want her to stay with them. she can move to the nearest Muslim families where is really there is trustworthy sisters who can look after her. Anyway, I think really we reached level 2:30 in the morning. I become tired, so excuse me. I got myself some cold today as well. And so if I did not answer any questions, keep it for tomorrow, inshallah. What is the best advice for the Muslims in the West? The best advice for the Muslim in the West, wherever you are, carry da'wah to the deen of Allah, command good, forbid evil, and keep helping and supporting the mujahideen wherever they are, as much as you can. And we work collectively in jama'ah all the time, and be behind a very trustworthy Muslim da'i openly, publicly. The one who does not do da'wah publicly, don't trust him. Okay? Tika, any sheikh, whatever he claimed to be the biggest alim, if he does not do da'wah publicly in kufr society, this is a crook hiding behind the books. Even if you write every day 5 books a day, crook hiding behind the books. Tika, obviously not everybody's, but Allah knows best. The Messenger Muhammad sallallahu he taught us to speak out openly, publicly against the taghut. Crook behind the book, we can't ourselves really accept that. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. جزاكم الله.